You are watching Fox and Friends First on this Monday morning. I'm Carly Shimkus.
And I am Todd Pyro. Here is what we know just moments ago from that press conference. 41 people on that plane were transported to the hospital. 32 were released, but it does appear there are 9 individuals with serious injuries at this time, still in the hospital. 2 pilots, as you see on your screen right there, confirmed dead. LaGuardia will be closed until at least 2 p.m., could be longer, depending upon how long the investigation takes.
What is going on?
Let's go live now to CB Cotton, live at LaGuardia with the very latest. CB.
Todd, Carly, good morning. An absolute tragedy here on the ground at LaGuardia Airport as we get that official confirmation that 2 pilots have been killed in this collision between a passenger plane and a fire truck. Let's take a look at this crash site because this was a gut-wrenching scene. You can see here on the screen that Air Canada Express plane on the tarmac with its nose completely torn off. And nearby, there appears to be the overturned, damaged Port Authority fire truck. To give some context, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey operates this airport. It just held a news conference and said the Air Canada flight was landing at around 11:40 p.m. Eastern last night, coming in from Montreal when it collided with a Port Authority fire truck that was responding to a United aircraft that had previously reported an issue with an odor. The Port Authority released an earlier statement saying, quote, "At approximately 11:40 p.m. on Sunday, a Jazz Aviation flight operating on behalf of Air Canada was involved in an accident on Runway 4 at LaGuardia Airport in which the aircraft struck a Port Authority aircraft rescue and firefighting vehicle that was responding to a separate incident." And again, moments ago, we got more details about how this unfolded. So Air Canada again says that flight was traveling from Montreal to New York, operated by Jazz Aviation. We also learned the flight had 72 passengers and 4 crew members on board. Port Authority recapping moments ago that 41 passengers and crew members were taken to the hospital. 32 people have now been released, but we've been told there are serious injuries. There was light rain, fog, and mist when the collision occurred, but it's too soon to say how and if the weather played a role. Here's one injured passenger recounting the harrowing moments.
We were coming in pretty fast. It was like a regular flight, like always. But as we were arriving, we came down really hard, and then we stopped really quickly, and then about 2 seconds later, we just had an absolute slam. Everybody was flying everywhere. I mean, the plane started veering off left and right, and there was, it was chaos. I mean, it didn't feel like there was anybody in control of anything.
And our thoughts and prayers are with everyone who was involved in this collision this morning. Todd, as you mentioned, there will be no flights into or out of LaGuardia Airport until at least 2 p.m. local time. The NTSB will now lead the investigation. Back to you in the studio.
Remarkable to hear that first-hand account from that passenger, CB.
That's crazy. I'm going to show some live feed from the area, but let me just play this beginning part again. Good morning, guys. Welcome. Crazy LaGuardia
We just
Airport.
heard from a senior Port Authority official after the breaking news overnight when a plane crashed into another vehicle at LaGuardia Airport with 2 people now confirmed dead. You are watching Fox and Friends First on this Monday morning. I'm Carly Shimkus.
And I am Todd Pyro. Here is what we know just moments ago from that press conference. 41 people on that plane were transported to the hospital. 32 were released, but it does appear there are 9 individuals with serious injuries at this time, still in the hospital. 2 pilots, as you see on your screen right.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. I was woken up to this morning by a text from somebody, and I jumped out of bed. I mean, I was actually snoozing. This was our first day back to school from spring break, and I was kind of snoozing, and then I saw this, and I was like, oh, crap. I jumped out of bed, and I was like, what the hell is going on? LaGuardia, with the airport situation, there's a lot of TSA talk. Not only that, they're saying that today, I think ICE in certain locations was supposed to go replace TSA because, I don't know if these people have just stopped showing up to work because they're not getting paid and stuff. and there's like a mass, a lot of people in line, people stuck, huge crowds over the weekend. So that's what I was kind of thinking about. We actually talked about plane crashes last night. And so I saw this and I'm like, what the hell? 2 pilots dead. Looks like the front of the plane, I guess they're saying it hit a fire truck. I was just catching glimpses of this. And I'm in my morning rush right now, so excuse me, about to get out of here soon in a bit. But yeah, it looks like the front of this hit a fire truck. I mean, look at this. The whole front of this plane hit. And there was I actually heard them saying that they were having some problems previously before. And that the passenger was saying that they hit kind of hard, landed kind of hard. A pilot and a co-pilot killed at New York's LaGuardia Airport in a collision with a fire engine. The nose of the aircraft was crushed, killing the pilots, while 41 passengers and crew members were taken to the hospital, some with serious injuries. Most have been released. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration grounded all planes. 2 employees who were traveling in the firefighting vehicle suffered injuries and were not believed to be life-threatening. Wow, let me show you this other picture, just like the front end. Crushed. That's horrific. It's a miracle and great that the other people survive. Because I'm thinking too, pilots, just my assumption, they're the captains of the ship. And of course, they don't want to die. Of course, they don't want to die. But at the very least, if they are going to die or if there's going to be something catastrophic, they're hoping, and their job is probably like, let me at least get these passengers home safe to their family, So even though they're deceased, which is horrible, they at least these other people survived, Flight 8646, the CRJ 900, operated by Jazz Aviation, Air Canada's partner. The fire engine was traveling across a runway to respond to a separate incident when a United Airlines flight whose pilot had reported an issue with odor. That's the thing, odor. Jazz Aviation issued a statement confirming the incident. The airline had said preliminary passenger list indicated 72 passengers and 4 crew. The city fire department had responded to a reported incident involving a plane and a vehicle. That is crazy, man. You just never know what's going to happen. There's a plane right there. And they're always saying that they're always saying the most dangerous time is taking off and landing. I thought that was the safest time when I was younger. I thought that was the safest. I didn't know. Little did I know. I thought the most dangerous time was mid-flight. No, it's taking off and landing, which makes sense. They're quitting. Here's another news station. Atlanta said they were going to do it, I thought. Oh, my God.
Active duty runway to see and avoid and operate with caution.
And when we talk about this, the plane as it was landing, how fast do you think it was going to cause the damage that we're seeing here?
I don't think the damage was caused by the aircraft movement. If he was on rollout, as apparently he was, he'd be doing somewhere around 30 miles an hour. That's obviously well below the landing normal speed. And he's near the end of the runway, 6,000 feet of rollout, or maybe if he tried to stop before the intersection. But nonetheless, that vehicle, it's a fire truck, that's a pretty heavy vehicle, yeah. And whatever speed he was traveling at, to take out that nose, the nose is gone, and it looks like the nose gear is also gone. So I don't think it was the speed of the aircraft struck from the side, it's more the vehicle speed and the tonnage of that fire truck.
JP, we've been reporting the last few weeks on the stress.
Per Fox reports, Atlanta has ice there. Yeah, I saw somebody on X, like some type of official, saying there was going to be ice there today. That's going to be interesting. There was a bunch of memes yesterday, too. Like how crazy it might be with ice there, Let me take a look. Let me just go through some of these updates, kind of refresh and catch up. I might start a new feed. We'll see. just to let people know that I'm back. We'll see. LaGuardia Airport, major U.S. travel hub. So there was a collision with the Air Canada Express plane and fire truck late Sunday. So this happened like late at night or early in the morning. I don't know. I thought it was like 2 Eastern or something. I was knocked out sleeping. First thing I woke up to this. The airport was closed for flights at least until 2 p.m. 900 flights arrive or depart daily at LaGuardia. Can't imagine the delays and interruptions. The plane involved in the collision was a CRJ 900 jet manufactured by Mitsubishi. Air Canada Express has 30 such jets in its fleet. The flight is operated by Jazz Aviation LP. There's a little map too that they provided. So who was in the wrong? The fire truck, I guess? The plane collided with a fire truck that was given clearance to cross runway. Oh no! Oh, we gotta listen to the audio too. When you get back, can you cover the Jewish ambulance that was set ablaze in London? I'll have to look at it and see. I haven't heard about that. Oh yeah, I didn't hear about that. I didn't know about that. Jewish volunteer ambulance is set on fire outside London synagogue in anti-Semitism attack. Damn. Did you guys? All right, well, maybe I'll set up a new stream. We'll just start a new stream. See if we can get people to come back, and we'll continue. Let's see. What a mess. I don't think they've said the name of the pilots yet, have they? Let's see, maybe they'll do another press conference. Some people came back, but I think a new stream will refresh. Everything goes haywire when I leave, I guess.
Said in the beginning about this flight attendant that apparently was strapped into her seat, that somehow this seat ended up outside of the plane. You saw that report, you heard about it. How could that happen? What did you make of it?
Well, looking at the damage to the nose, it was torn off. That seat, as I recall, in that type of an aircraft, her back was to the cockpit door. That's where she should be seated, or he, whatever it was, female or male. And so the very fact that impact that tore off a nose gear and the cockpit that also resulted in the aircraft tilting back, the impact had to be severe. Wow. That truck had to be moving at one heck of a speed, which probably will be able to be determined from some of the onboard computer networks that are on all vehicles, if that fire truck had such.
Well, that would have been a disaster.
Yeah.
And that flight attendant, it's a miracle.
Absolute miracle.
I believe it's a female that she's okay this morning. Anyway, we always appreciate talking to you, JP Tristani, aviation expert, retired commercial airline pilot, and aeronautical engineer. Thank you so much for your insight.
Nice seeing you both again, so have a swell day. Cheers.
You too.
All right, it is just about 8:40 here on this Monday morning. It's a busy morning here. We'll have much more on the collision between an Air Canada plane and a Port Authority vehicle on the runway of LaGuardia.
We'll have the latest when Good Day New York returns.
Crazy. Let's see what else they're saying. Trump say too they're going to be deporting people too while they're doing TSA? Like they're going to be checking people? I thought he said something like that. Where's Bovino? He retired. But imagine he was like, he's in charge. All right, he's in charge of the TSA now. Holy moly. All right, so yeah, two pilots passed away. The pilot and the co-pilot. I want to show this map too. Let me download this. I did download it. Yeah, I got coffee here. Okay. So this picture, where the plane ended is right here. The dot right here where the plane ended. And path of the Air Canada jet. This is the path. Oh, it ended off the runway. Hundreds of flights are canceled at LaGuardia. Oh, the air traffic control too. I forgot about that.
LaGuardia Tower.
Truck 1 and Company.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195, stop there, please. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop.
Man, was he not listening? Oh my gosh. Sounded like that guy wasn't listening.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower.
Truck 1 and Company.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
He did give
Truck 1 and Company crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195, stop there, please. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1.
Oh, jeez. What a mess. Man, senseless death didn't have to happen. Avoidable. That's what they're gonna say. Avoidable death. Two pilots killed. Sounds like it was on the. I don't know. It was I guess it was on air traffic. It sounds like maybe they cleared them. Didn't they? They cleared them to go, and then they're like stop. I just sent you a pic of my son. Sent me from Hartsfield of ICE agents in TSA security line. He's been there since 5 a.m. Really? Where did you send that to? My email? ICE is taking over. Let me open up my other emails. Oh, I see it now. I see it. A lot of people in line. There's ICE. ICE agents and TSA. 4-hour wait line for TSA checkout. Hell no, I couldn't fly, man. I'd have to cancel, rearrange everything. Oh, I see it. Thank you. Now I see the ICE agents. I saw the other pictures. I didn't see the ICE one until now. Let me show you guys. ICE, baby. I really wonder how that's going to go. I don't know, man. Flying into ATL Wednesday. Out next Monday morning at 6. And you're gonna have to be there hours early. Ooh. You have to be there hours early. Let's see if they came back from the report.
Executive Director Catherine Garcia earlier this morning about those who were hurt.
Initial numbers indicate that 41 passengers and crew were transported to the hospital, as well as the ARF officers. At this time, we understand that 32 have been released, but there are also serious injuries.
I've reached out to both hospitals, that is Elmhurst and New York Presbyterian Queens. I did hear back from New York Presbyterian Queens. A spokeswoman tells me that she can't divulge any information because of patient privacy. I would suspect the same will be true when we hear from Elmhurst Hospital. But I think, judging from what we know about how fast the plane was going whenever it impacted that fire truck, many of these injuries are going to be concussions and the sort of blunt force injuries that you would expect from a relatively high-speed collision such as this. As soon as we learn anything more about the patient breakdown, how many patients remain here, we'll let you know. Dan, Rosanna, back to you.
Robert, thank you very much. A devastating crash coming up. We are continuing to keep a close eye on the breaking news at LaGuardia.
Damn, Katerina, they tagged me. They're saying that, I guess this is breaking. Billionaire Leonid Radovinsky, the OnlyFans owner, has died at 43. Wow. What happened to him? All that money in the world, what happened? Do you have a medical condition? Let's see what's going on with him. Billionaire. Wow. He died of cancer. After a long battle with the disease, passed away peacefully at 43. Wow. I thought they said they had like a secret cure that only people with a lot of money could get or something. Or the what do they call it? Fembendazole? What happened to that? They said all that money, he couldn't find a cure for cancer, not for lack of trying though. However, he donated tens of millions to cancer research, 23 million to gastrointestinal cancer research, so he may have had pancreatic cancer. Wow. That's crazy. I don't think these people really want to find a cure, to be honest with you. All these years, how many people go, oh, we're going to cure cancer. They're presidents too. We're going to cure cancer. He passed away today. Oh, Pompano, Florida. An obituary notice appeared who passed away on March 20th in Pompano, Florida. Check Discord.
That as an alternate, so that's looking like about 45 to 50. They're heading inbound into the city. With the rails, New Jersey Transit in and out of Penn Station, there's a 20-minute delay due to Amtrak signal issues. Back to you, Rosanna and Dan.
Inez, thank you very much. And the shutdown at LaGuardia is causing more trouble for the surrounding airports as passengers look to find some other flights.
Well, it comes on the heels of long waits and delays already happening at TSA lines. Briella Tomasetti, we now know some of those people who were supposed to leave at LaGuardia this morning. They're trying to see if they can get a flight out of Kennedy. Right. What's going on over there?
Flight out of Kennedy. Some people may have gone to Newark Airport, where there was, as Inez mentioned, a temporary ground stop in place. There's a live look of the airport right now behind me, but that temporary ground stop has been lifted. Port Authority officials say the air traffic control tower there was evacuated due to smoke. Staffers moved their operations to a backup facility at Terminal C, allowing for flight operations to resume, which is a very good sign, all things considered. It was already expected to be a busy day at our local airports. JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark are 3 of the 14 high-volume U.S. airports where White House border czar Tom Homan announced that ICE agents would be deployed beginning today.
Oh, yeah,
the chaos
ICE
started
agents.
over the weekend with long lines winding through LaGuardia and wait times climbing to 3 hours due to the ongoing Homeland Security shutdown. But travel issues surged after that Air Canada passenger jet collided with the Port Authority vehicle at LaGuardia.
So they put on an update March 23. Jazz Aviation LP, Jazz operating as Air Canada Express, provides an update on the accident involving the AC 8646 operated by CRJ 900 aircraft that occurred at New York LaGuardia. Flight 8646 was en route to LGA from Montreal and collided with a fire truck on the runway upon landing at New York LaGuardia. Officials with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey confirmed that the pilot and the first officer were killed in the accident. Jazz is deeply saddened by the loss of its 2 employees and are working to support family members and its employees. The preliminary passenger list indicates that the aircraft was carrying 72 passengers and 4 crews. The accident occurred approximately 11:47 p.m. March 22nd. The exact number of injuries and fatalities is not available at this time. Okay. Everybody right now in X is talking about the OnlyFans person that passed away.
section of the plane dropped down on its side. According to the Port Authority, the Air Canada flight collided with the Port Authority emergency vehicle after landing here at LaGuardia Airport at around 11:40 last night. The incident happening on runway 4. Authorities say the plane struck a Port Authority aircraft rescue and firefighting vehicle that was responding to a separate incident at the time. Air Canada says flight 8646 was coming from Montreal. 72 passengers and 4 crew members were on board. You're about to hear the audio from air traffic control, the moment leading to that deadly crash.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower.
Truck 1 and Company.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195, stop there, please. Stop.
And you hear their stop, but they could not stop. Air Canada has set up a phone line for family and friends. That number there on your screen. Let's talk a little bit about that emergency vehicle. We know it was responding to another aircraft, to a United plane that the pilot had called in an odor that he was smelling. We know 2 officers were inside that fire truck, a sergeant and a Port Authority police officer, both taken to the hospital and listed in stable condition. You're about to hear now from the Port Authority Executive Director, Catherine Garcia.
It is anticipated that the airport will be closed at least until 2 p.m. this afternoon to facilitate the investigation by NTSB, which has already begun to be on site.
Now, we did ask Catherine Garcia, what is the procedure, the protocol for an emergency vehicle to be on the runway? So she tells us that they have to get clearance from the control tower before entering the runway. So clearly all this under investigation. We know that LaGuardia Airport remains closed until at least 2 p.m. That could be extended depending on the needs of investigators who are here on the scene. Of course, we are on top of this, Rosanna, and we'll bring you any development as this comes to us. Back to you.
Thank you so much. Jason Ambrosi, president of the Airline Pilots Association, the world's largest airline pilots union, is now releasing a statement saying that the pilots who died in this collision dedicated their careers to the safe transport of passengers, and that their people are now investigating as well. It is a tragic situation. Here's another look at that plane. That whole front area of the plane completely disintegrated. It is sitting on the runway as the National Transportation Safety Board investigates. We know dozens of passengers have been treated for injuries. We're hearing reports that a flight attendant whose back was towards the pilot's door somehow was ejected from the plane, was found outside
the plane.
of the plane on the tarmac in the seat.
Bro, how crazy is that?
We're hearing reports that a flight attendant whose back was towards the pilot's door somehow was ejected from the plane, was found outside of the plane on the tarmac in the seat, and is okay this morning. Those are the reports we're hearing.
I can't imagine what that must have been like. Because you know how, like, okay, there's the pilot door, the cockpit, and then they have like sometimes those ladies like sitting right at their back against the thing right there, and they're like facing you. I guess the crash happened. That whole seat this lady was sitting in comes out, and she's like outside. She probably thought she was gonna die. That was crazy.
Hearing. And Robert Moses, I know you're outside Elmhurst Hospital. If that is true, that is a miracle.
It sure is, Rosanna. And, you know, the executive director, Catherine Garcia, was asked about that report. She said she can't confirm that, but yeah.
I know, right? She's probably like, am I dead? I just can't imagine.
Yes, if that is indeed true, it is miraculous, and we expect perhaps the National Transportation Safety Board to be able to fill in some of those details when we hear from them later on. We know already from Jess that they are on the ground. We are about 2 miles away from LaGuardia at Elmhurst Hospital. This is one of the two hospitals that received patients. New York Presbyterian Queens is the other. And these two hospitals are both level 1 trauma centers, which is to say they are equipped to handle the most severe injuries you can imagine. And there were some serious injuries as a result of this impact. 41 passengers, crew members, and those Port Authority officers in the fire truck were taken to these two hospitals after the crash. Most of them, 32, have since been released, so their injuries were minor enough for them to be sent home. However, some of those who remain hospitalized this morning did suffer serious injuries, and they are receiving treatment for them. We heard from a passenger who was on board that plane. He tells us about some of the injuries that he observed among those around him.
There was so many people that banged their head and had concussions, and I mean, I remember looking behind me after we got off, and there was some guy with just the blood coming off of his face, and it was a lot of people got pretty hurt.
And if you've ever flown, and so many of us have, you know that many passengers, as soon as those wheels hit the ground, they reach for their seatbelt and take the seatbelt off, which is why flight attendants and pilots say repeatedly, leave your seatbelt on until we are parked safely at the gate. A lot can happen from the time a plane lands until the time it reaches the gate, and this story is a stark reminder of that. We're still waiting for a patient breakdown between the two hospitals. I've reached out to both Elmhurst and New York Presbyterian Queens. I've yet to hear from Elmhurst. New York Presbyterian Queens tells me that they cannot comment because of patient privacy. But to summarize what we know, 41 people all told. That includes crew, along with passengers, and those two people who were on board that Port Authority fire truck have been hospitalized. 32 of them released from the hospital. Some of the remaining 9 are still being treated for serious injuries. Live at Elmhurst this morning, Rosanna, back to you.
All right, thank you.
Crazy, man. Better hope you don't have to take an airplane, get on the airport. I was trying to find, I don't know where my phone's at. I'm telling you, I got that notification last night from Citizens, and it was like a worldwide alert or some shit. I was like, what the? I feel like I took a screenshot. What is my cell phone? Okay, here we go. Global caution alert. But I thought this was mostly for like outside of the US. It says US Department of State issues security alert urging Americans worldwide to exercise extra increased caution. I was like, what? Do they know something we don't know? Something coming, an attack? The U.S. Department of State has issued a global advisory urging Americans to exercise increased caution. This is particularly in the Middle East. The advisory warns of possible travel disruptions and potential threats to U.S. diplomatic facilities and interests worldwide. Incident reported at United States. I guess to me this reads like overseas. But it says worldwide, but especially in the Middle East. I've never seen a notification like this before. You think I'm going to be traveling and hanging out in large groups of people, getting stuck in shit with a sardine can full of people? Hell nah. I saw that last night. I was like, oh shit, is something coming? We're getting bombed or something? What's going on? That was like the first thought in my head. I was like, what? The citizen thing is actually working? Okay. Okay. What else? Let's see what's going on.
Diverted, all happening as a result of the shutdown at LaGuardia Airport. Newark was shut down a little bit this morning. It is now reopened. Next, we're speaking with the former Navy pilot and now aviation attorney for more insight on this crash. Good Day New York is coming right back.
Crazy times we're in, man. Got to be thankful to be alive, too, man. Be thankful for your health. You know, even if you're struggling, man, because look at this guy, the OnlyFans person with a billionaire. That's kind of wild, too. A billionaire. And there's just nothing you can do about the inevitable. If you get cancer, if you're unlucky and get cancer and get something that you just, at a certain stage. Crazy. I saw they got the Apple guy too, didn't they? It's crazy. Gotta be thankful, man. Because all the money in the world might not be able to save you from the inevitable outcome, I guess. You know? I don't know. If I had all that money, man, I would think, okay, we got connections. We know some of these drug companies. But isn't that what happened to the Apple guy? Like, I thought the Apple guy, like, I thought he had tried to go, like, this holistic route or something. Didn't he go, like, to all these different places and try all this different shit? I thought. I'd have to look it up. I never, like, deeply looked into the story. Like, I think I had heard somebody talking about it, and he tried all these different things. Unfortunately, it didn't work out.
Morning long at LaGuardia Airport. 2 pilots killed after an Air Canada plane collided with a Port Authority fire truck on the runway. The airport is closed till at least 2 o'clock this afternoon. 41 passengers and crew members taken to the hospital. There were 72 passengers and 4 crew members on board that flight. 2 Port Authority officers were injured.
I feel like I'm going to need to listen to the ATC again. It does sound like ATC screwed up. I feel like even the communication sounded kind of poor a little bit. Like, I feel like we should listen to it again. Because I even feel like when he was kind of like communicating with the fire truck, like he says like stop, and then I think he said truck or the number, but he said it's so low you could barely hear it. I don't know, man. Yeah, let's just check it out again.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower.
Truck 1 and Company.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195, stop there, please. Stop. Stop, Truck 1, stop. Stop, Truck 1.
I think it was like really poor communication too. So there was something happening with another aircraft. A pilot reported like there was some type of odor thing. So I guess he was trying to get this fire truck. They're trying to get the fire truck to this other aircraft while this guy's coming in.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower.
Truck 1 and Company.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
So the truck requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
And he gave him permission. Yes, cross. It almost like there was like a little hesitation, and maybe he was checking, and he's like, "Oh yeah, like cross."
Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
Then he confirms he's crossing.
Frontier 4195, stop there.
And then he tells some aircraft to stop.
Please. Stop.
See, and then he's like, stop. And he mumbles some shit. I don't even know what he said there. The caption, the CC says unclear. I thought they had the translation here. I think that was really like poor communication too. I don't know if like, here it is. Because he's telling him truck 1. So the closed caption picks it up as unclear. Over here, they kind of break it down, I guess, and it says
Frontier 4195, stop there, please. Stop.
Yeah, barely just like stop. Damn, yeah.
Stop, truck 1. Stop, truck 1.
Damn, dude. Crazy. There's more that you missed the beginning. I played it from the beginning of this.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower.
Truck 1 and Company.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195, stop there, please. Stop. Stop, truck 1. Stop, truck 1.
That's crazy, man. And it could have been more people dead. You know, it could have been even more catastrophic. It just turned out to be these 2 pilots, which is horrible, you know, but it could have been more people dead. I don't even know. Couldn't even imagine what those pilots were thinking. They were landing. Somebody earlier was asking, like, were they taking off for landing? They were landing, I believe. They were landing, right? They came from Montreal, I think. They were landing at LaGuardia. Can't even imagine what those pilots were thinking. Oh, at the end, he says he messed up? Really? I'm going to play that again. I think I still have it here, right? I don't know if they allowed over here beeping sounds. Let's see. Oh.
Stop, truck 1.
It does sound like he's saying something.
Stop, truck 1. Stop, truck 1.
It's like beeping, but it's like saying something too. And it's crazy, man. I mean, Iran doesn't have to do much. They could sit back because this was supposed to be like, you know, all these sleeper cells. Everybody has to be careful. We're all on high alert. They don't have to do shit. Just watch us screw ourselves up. They don't got to do nothing. Damn. Okay. Let me see the official page here, too, if they have some updates. What's going on? Maybe things are going to start picking up again. It's been really quiet. It's been like a super quiet week, which, you know, I don't mind. But I was mostly available, you know, spring break week. Now, of course, spring break's over. Things are going to get, you know, a little more on the daily routine for me. And of course, I guess maybe now things are going to pick up, I guess. This is ice at the airports. I really wonder how this is going to go, and are they trained for this? How does it take some kind of, like, how long? Like, how does this even work out? So I'm wondering. Better be on your best behavior. CBS has the full thing. That's not the entire broadcast. Okay, let's see if we find it then. CBS, you said? Better be on your best behavior at these airports. Some of these people want to act a fool, start acting up. No, I'm not gonna do. No, I'm not getting on a plane. No, I don't give a. You better start fucking behaving because you might get your ass shot. Sorry, it's kind of early for the cursing. You might get popped. You better act up. Take some training classes, home training classes. You better behave yourself. Be on your best behavior. Let's see CBS. You better behave.
At the CBS Broadcast Center here in New York, tarmac significantly.
If they decide
Pilot aircraft operator.
I'm scanning this morning. Are you saying maybe like their live stream? I just checked out a video. I'll check out their live feed. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, they're talking about ice right now. Oh, you can't. Can you rewind? Oh, you can. Or you can't. Yeah, you can. Or maybe their article. Let's see. CBS plane crash. I wonder what it's like for these air traffic people. Like, what's the situation at LaGuardia? Like, are they understaffed? How long of a shift do they do over there? How many aircrafts are they responsible for at a time? Sounds like it's a lot of multitasking. Oh, CBC. Thank you. CBC. That's the Canada. That's the Canada news station, right? Oh yeah, they're live. I got to be careful with CBC a little bit, but let me see if they have the full. Yeah, air traffic control audio. Okay, let's see.
We've also compiled what are key excerpts of the audio from.
Okay, so yeah, let's do this. CBC. Thank you for the chat telling me.
From air traffic control. They show us the moment just before and after the collision. What you're about to hear is the controller approving that fire truck, as is required, to cross the runway, and then realizing something is amiss, urgently ordering it 10 times to stop, but there is no response. Then the crash, and the controller calls out to Air Canada pilots to tell them help is on the way. At that point, they may already be dead. This clip not in real time, though. It has been edited for clarity.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 Delta.
Truck 1 and Company crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please. Stop, Truck 1, stop. Stop, Truck 1, stop. Stop, Truck 1, stop. Delta 2603, go around, runway heading 2000. Jazz 646. Jazz 646, I see you collide with a vehicle here. Just hold position. I know you can't move. The vehicle's are responding to you now.
Is the runway closed?
Delta 2603, go around. Runway heading 2000.
Heading 2000, go around. Delta 2603.
Tower.
Truck 2, runway 4 is closed, correct?
Yep. Go on to runway 4 now. Proceed on runway 4. You have access. Frontier 4195. I got the word that we're going to be closed for a little while. If you want to prepare to return to the ramp, let me know.
Yeah, we got stuff in progress for that, man. That wasn't good to watch.
Yeah, I know. I was here. I tried to reach out to my stuff, and we were dealing with an emergency earlier, and I messed up.
No, man, you did the best you could.
I messed up. You did the best you could. Oh, shit.
Those are some of the key details.
Wow.
We've also compiled what are moments proving that is amiss. Urgent crash. At that point, they may already be dead. This clip not in real time, though.
Cross 4 Delta.
Truck 1 and Company crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please. Stop, Truck 1, stop. Stop, Truck 1, stop. Stop, Truck 1, stop. Del 2603, go around, runway heading 2000. Jazz 646. Jazz 646, I see you collide with a vehicle here, just hold position. I know you can't move. The vehicles are responding to you now.
Is the runway closed?
Del 2603, go around, runway heading 2000.
Heading 2000, go around, Del 2603.
LaGuardia Tower.
Truck through 2, runway 4 is closed, correct?
Yes, go on to runway 4 now. Proceed on runway 4, you have access. Frontier 4195, I got the word that we're going to be closed for a little while. If you want to prepare to return to the ramp, let me know.
Yeah, we got stuff in progress for that, man. That wasn't good to watch.
Yeah, I know I was here. I tried to reach out to my stuff, and we were dealing with an emergency earlier, and I messed up.
No, man, you did the best you could.
Those are some of the key details investigators
said not safe to fly. That's tough, man. That is tough. You know, man. I don't even know how you deal with that. Like, if you're an air traffic controller and then you got to deal with that, the fact, you know, I hate to even say it, but it's, you know, it's your fault. Potentially it's your fault. It could be, you know, and they're gonna have to investigate, but damn, bro, to have that kind of thing on your head. Maga, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I have 150 pounds apparently because I ordered by accident. The company's really nice though, Chewy. Because I told them I didn't mean to order. They told me just to keep it or donate it or whatever, and they refunded me. So really nice. But wow, that's heavy, man. That is heavy. Damn, man. That's tough, man. Like, the plane crashed into a fire truck. 31 years old, never took a plane. I never will, though. It's Buddy's fault. Whose Buddy's fault? You never took a plane? I used to fly on planes when I was a kid all the time to go see my father. And as a kid, it was just fun. I never really thought about, you know, you're younger, you kind of don't really think about like death and stuff, or it's not like as heavy or realistic, kind of, you know. And so I used to fly all the time by myself, and they used to treat me really good. You know, a couple times I used to go into like the cockpit. The pilots would like show you could see all these buttons and stuff. The flight attendants were super nice. You get like preferential treatment and all kinds of stuff. And I used to have a really good time flying as a kid. But as I got older, oh no, man, it's like harder for me. You know, I don't really like flying. If I have to, you know, I might have to get a prescription. You might have to take a Xanax or something. You know, the Drake song. I took half a Xan, 13 hours to outland, had me out like a light. Might need like some Xanax or something, bro, a drink or something like that. But I don't like to fly, and it's just because I don't know, I'm older, feel like there's, you know, you just realize mortality more to lose. You know, I think about my daughter and stuff like that. You know, so it's different. And then now you see all this stuff now happening too all the time. It just feels like times are a bit different, you know, with these aircraft. You know how many times there's like these near misses, you know? Just the other day, there was 2 planes that almost hit each other on the tarmac. You know, it's like, yeah, it's different flying now. I feel like not what it used to be. I don't like being confined too long to a space, you know, like in a tin can up in the air, thousands of miles up in the air, you know? Days I fly, regret getting sober. You know, the only thing I realized though with drinking and flying though, it's like if I drink, like initially my feelings are kind of cool and I'm chill or whatever, but then at some point my anxiety kind of kicks in more. You know, it's like, I mean, I don't know. I guess you're supposed to keep drinking or something. For some reason, it has like negative effects to me, like long term. Like if I'm flying for 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, the first hour maybe I'm okay, but then after that, I just feel like, I don't know. And the last time I flew, the last flight I got on was oh no, that was Tennessee. I had to go to Tennessee. That flight was okay. Tennessee flying was okay. Some air attendants actually recognized me, which was funny. This lady just kept staring at me, and I'm like, is she hitting on me or something? Does she like me? Like, I don't understand what's going on here. She just kept staring at me. And she's like, oh, I recognize you. Do you do something? Like true crime or something? And it's like, yeah, well, you know, I'm a streamer. And so we were talking. She was really nice, her and the other flight attendant. And it kind of put me at ease. I had that in California too. Like people, I don't get that all the time, but I had some people in California airport recognize me a few times. But the flight before that was from Cali to Florida. And I'll never forget it because that night we were waiting and waiting and waiting. And it's like the flight seemed to be delayed or something. And waiting and waiting and waiting. And then at some point, it's like they told us there was a plane there, but then they told us they had to switch the plane out. Like they said something was wrong with the plane, and we all start looking at each other. And I'm like, what? So now I'm like, do I still get on this plane? And there was this black lady next to me, and we were like looking at each other, and she starts telling me, she's like, I ain't getting on this plane. I don't care what plane they're bringing back. I'm out of here. No, fuck that. I'm not taking this plane. I ain't coming. It's a sign. It's a sign. No. And so I was kind of laughing. I thought she was joking. We waited for like 2 hours. Everybody started hitting up the bars. The few that were open. I remember I was sitting at one bar in Cali at LAX. At some point I'm sitting there, they just cut off the lights. I guess I don't even tell people, hey, we're closing. The place was so run down. I couldn't believe how raggedy and run down LAX was. I was like, this is a shitty ass airport. I feel like I'm in a third world country. I think it was under construction though, to be fair. But I was like, because I remember when I landed, I don't think the AC was even working. I was like, what kind of bumhole airport is this? Sorry. And I'm sitting at one of the bars or something, and they just cut out the lights. And I'm just kind of sitting there. We're all looking at each other like, okay, I guess it's closed. I guess this is how they work in California. This is how they function. I guess they just cut off the lights, I guess. So like I pay my bill, I get up and I walk around, and I notice everybody from my flight is like bar hopping. I guess everybody's just like stuck. We're waiting. People are frustrated. So finally they get the new plane, and I'm getting in line, and I'm waiting on the lady to see if she came. That lady left. She never came back for that flight. She was for real. She dipped out, said, F it. I'm not getting on this plane. And that was it. And so the flight was fine. I don't remember if it was that flight or a different flight. Somebody had like a medical emergency or something. And so they still continued to Florida, but like I think they took like a faster path, and they flew a little bit faster, and we got there a little bit earlier. And like I think some paramedics came on and they took somebody off or something. I guess it wasn't like an emergency, but it was like a medical situation happening or whatever, and that was it. I was trying to find the pictures though, because there was while I was getting on the plane, there was this couple that was passed out, like drunk, passed out on the floor sleeping. I was like, oh man, it was crazy. But I don't really like to fly, man. I don't like to be fly. I don't like to be under somebody else's control, like relying on somebody else fully and hoping that they don't fuck up, that they're not on fucking medications or something, or that the pilot's not having a bad day and he wants to take all of us out, you know, and crash the fucking plane. That's happened before. Crash the plane and, you know, want to take everybody out and stuff. There's been stories of like the pilot or the co-pilot will lock out the pilot when he goes to use the bathroom, and the pilot comes back, the door's locked, and then the plane just starts swerving down to the ground and shit. I watched too many plane crash stories. That's probably the problem too. Is like I watched like dozens of episodes of like plane crashes, like nonstop. Probably wasn't a good thing. You haven't flown once, really, Ren? LaGuardia has been renovated. I've never been to, I must have been when I flew here. I don't remember it though. I was young when I first came to Florida. I like Fort Lauderdale Airport. I don't like Miami Airport. It's been a long time since I've been there. I like Fort Lauderdale. It's not like fancy, but it's clean. There's places to eat, you know. And it used to be you were in and out. I don't know now with TSA. I could literally go there within an hour till my flight leaves and make it in and walk in and be done, you know. Southern Gals, thank you for the 10. Says, I have meds before I fly too. But Hubs flies all the time for work. He loves to fly, but has to be there like 2 hours before the flight. Even though we have real ID, he drives me nuts. That's the thing now, too, real ID. Nasty. Oh, look, here's the fire truck too, guys, or the emergency medical. Some people were wondering about this. And I guess these guys survived. There's the truck right there. I flew to Miami, Arizona, Texas. I hate it, really. Miami's just too crowded for me. I just don't like it's just way too many people, way too crowded, way too much, like too much going on there for me. Crazy, man. That's a good question. 407 first class people get messed up also. There were some people that said had serious injuries, but I think a lot of people were released. I would think that the people towards the front of the plane were probably the most injured or shaken up, you know?
The wreckage, the nose of this plane, it's just really, you just cannot believe that an accident like this, a collision, happened here at the airport. We know, again, 2 people dead, the pilot and co-pilot, and as for the airport here, LaGuardia, it is closed until at least 2 o'clock. Of course, that could change as investigators, if they need more time to gather evidence and go through this wreckage. So my advice is, if you're heading to the airport, make sure you check in with your carrier before heading out. Rosanna?
Thank you so much, Jessica. It's so weird because I'm getting information. By the way, 34 years ago to the day, there was another crash at LaGuardia Airport. It was a U.S. Air Flight 405, and apparently it crashed in poor weather in a partially inverted position in Flushing Bay shortly after liftoff from LaGuardia. To the day. Isn't that it's crazy and uncanny that happened at the same time. Anyway,
yes.
Anyway, we'll get more information on what happened years ago, but we're keeping our sights on what's happening right now at LaGuardia Airport. We talked about those pilots, as Jessica mentioned. Those pilots on board the Air Canada flight are dead. We know there were 72 passengers on board that plane as well. Some of them taken to the hospital, Elmhurst Hospital Center in Queens, for treatment. Some were released. Robert Moses, what do you know this morning?
Yeah, Rosanna, we're about 2 miles or so away from the airport where Jess was just speaking to you. And I want to get right to a new image that Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy posted on X. And this is another view of that nose that is now gone, completely sheared off. Yeah. A testament to just how violent this collision truly was. Patients from this crash went to 2 different hospitals, Elmhurst and New York Presbyterian Queens. Both hospitals are level 1 trauma centers, which means that they're equipped to handle the most severe injuries you can imagine. All told, 41 people. That includes passenger crew members and those 2 Port Authority officers who were in the truck. They were taken to those 2 hospitals. Most, 32, have since been released. However, some of those who remain hospitalized at this hour are still getting treatment for those injuries. The Executive Director of the Port Authority, Catherine Garcia, spoke to us this morning about their injuries.
Initial numbers indicate that 41 passengers and crew were transported to the hospital as well as the ARF officers. At this time, we understand that 32 have been released, but there are also serious injuries.
And Rosanna, I've now heard from spokespeople for both hospitals, both Elmhurst and New York Presbyterian. Neither would divulge any information about how many patients are at the hospitals or what the conditions of those patients are this morning. But suffice it to say, according to the Port Authority, 32 of the 41 who were initially hospitalized have been released. So
there's rumors going around. Let me see who posted this on my X. There is rumors going around. Unexplained Daily said, is it true that only one working at the time and had to stay hour after incident before he could be relieved? So I haven't heard that. That's rumors going around X. Grok says it's not true yet. Mainstream media is not reporting that, but I'll keep an eye on that. What it does say is that the controller was handling both air traffic and ground vehicles, which they say apparently is common in tower positions. And the frantic audio has led to speculation about overwork, understaffing, and fatigue, especially late at night, 11:40. The thing is, he was dealing, and I wonder if, I don't know how that works, man, because they were already dealing with some type of emergency with another aircraft where they had an odor issue. And so the fire truck was going to respond to that. The air traffic controller, I guess, is handling aircraft coming in, the emergency, and navigating that truck to make sure it's safe to get to that airplane. We're going to have to find out. I'm sure more is going to come out. I mean, this kind of stuff, though. Like TSA and like air traffic control, like this stuff, so they should make something so like these people are not affected when it comes to all this political bullshit. You know, they're not getting paid because of whoever it is, Republicans, Democrats, whatever. Like that should not even be a thing. And then these people still get paid. The politicians, they should not be fucking getting paid. Why everybody else doesn't get paid but they get paid? Make no sense.
Everything else running on or close. Rosanna, back to you.
All right, thank you so much. Still ahead, former MMA fighter Alberto Crane has a new book out talking about one of his toughest fights, battling MS.
So the TSA employees aren't getting paid, in case you didn't know, because of this, this government shutdown, quote unquote, government shutdown. And partial government shutdown funding lapses, specifically affecting the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees the TSA. This started February 14 due to congressional stalemate, primarily over funding levels, immigration enforcement policies, like restrictions on ICE operations and broader budget disagreements between Republicans and Democrats. TSA officers, about 50,000 to 61,000 of them are classified as essential workers, so they're required to keep up show. Who's going to show up and not get paid, though? And the bills are fucking mounting up. Like, it's ridiculous. They're required to keep showing up for their shifts at airports nationwide, even without paychecks. Funding for DHS, thus TSA salaries, lapsed when Congress failed to pass appropriations or continuing resolution. TSA operations are largely funded through congressional appropriations, including passenger security fees collected, airline tickets. But during a lapse, that money can't be dispersed for salaries. I saw Elon Musk saying that he was willing to like fund some of these people. Somebody needs to step up and take care of these people because it's not right. And in the long run, other people's lives, public safety, is at risk. Workers missed their first full paycheck around March 13, 2026. They got a partial pay earlier, and many are struggling with bills, rent, food, etc. Under the 2019 federal law, they'll get back pay once the shutdown ends, but that doesn't help in the moment. It doesn't do anything. I think it's bullshit. I don't think the members of Congress should be getting paid at all. They should be cut. Like, that's not right. It's ridiculous. Or they should be forced to pay up the all those what in the meantime, and then we'll give you a refund at the end, and you guys fucking figure it out. You know, that's bullshit.
Out Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy there as well this morning. All right, we're going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to inspire you. We have a former MMA fighter, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu trainer, Alberto Crane.
No, it's not his problem. I agree. It's not Elon's problem. But I'm just saying he offered to assist, you know, and some of them got really upset. Newark Airport control. So this is another airport situation that happened. Some of you guys were telling me on Discord. Johnny was telling me, and some other people were telling me there was another incident while all this was happening at the same time. And they said that there was a control tower evacuated. What's going on in these control towers? Control tower evacuated after reported smoke. An unsettling situation went down this morning at Newark Liberty International Airport with air traffic controllers being evacuated. I don't like all these pop-ups. It's kind of annoying. Hold on. It's too much. You did one or two? Okay, but like the whole page, you can't even see anything? Okay. Unsettling situation went down at the Newark Liberty International Airport with air traffic controllers evacuated from the tower after reports of smoke triggering a ground stop. The FAA said the tower was evacuated due to a burning smell coming from an elevator and said there was no fire. Uh-oh. As a result, arrivals and departures temporarily paused. Okay. While the New York situation isn't as severe, it's only adding to an already tense morning. Yeah. Ooh, you guys heard about this too? United Airlines flights loses power in engine, sets nearby brush ablaze during takeoff. Wow. Damn. These are all realities that can happen, but these planes, they're made to, like, even if an engine goes out, they can come like land. The problem is though, if it happens during takeoff though, that could be very problematic, like right at the takeoff when you're getting air, catching air, lifting. The FAA will investigate. The Boeing was traveling to Tokyo, Japan. A United Airlines flight needed to make a quick U-turn when it's lost power in an engine and lit brush near the tarmac on fire. And a lot of these companies too, they're like rushing. We got to get the plane out fast, on time. There's money to be made. We got to rush. We got to be quick. We need fast turnaround times. You know. Let's see what else we got over here. House on fire? What happened here? Damn, this house got burnt to a crisp. Where's this at? Hyattsville house on fire. What is that? One in critical condition. One-story single-family home ablaze with smoke. One adult was rescued from the basement. The house is burnt to a crisp, man.
With the hospital, you could not mention the exact hospital they go to.
Okay. Did he mention?
He did.
What did he say?
He said MedStar.
I gotta
You just say local
chat.
hospital or, transported, please. Thank you.
We'll let them know.
Yeah. It's just a HIPAA issue.
Hey, I just got a call.
TMZ depends. You said it's not a reliable source. The Newark thing is a real thing. Like, it actually did happen. You can like look it up and see other You can see other articles. There's like dozens of articles from local stations and stuff. But I understand what you're saying. I actually really like the Daily Mail, to be honest with you. I mean, maybe you have to double check, fact check, whatever. But they have some. I like the way they organize their articles, and they have some good information. Let's see what else. Reacher star Alan Richson allegedly attacks neighbor in front of children. Jeez. Uh-oh. Already problems with ICE. What they're saying? What do they say? Travelers ecstatic that ICE is finally there to assist. Absolute nightmare unfolding right now. The TSA line is forming outside of the airport in Houston. Oof. Now's not really the time to travel, my friends. Some people don't have a choice, but do a staycation, man. Go to the next city, stay in a hotel or something. Look at this shit. These kids will kill you, man. 21-year-old, he's not a kid, but 21-year-old fatally shot his grandmother after argument over his allowance money. Oh, I want $10. I want my Roblox money. My Roblox money. Ungrateful bastards and then work for nothing in their life. Sorry about that. Rabid bobcat attacks lady. Wait a minute, Hakeem. Is this Hakeem Jeffries? Wait, what? Is this real or AI?
Meaningful and dramatic reforms in people. It's the reason why we are in a DHS shutdown right now, because Republicans have refused to agree to the type of bold, transformative, meaningful, and dramatic reforms we are demanding in order for the Department of Homeland Security funding bill to move forward. And I won't go through all of the demands, much of which we've talked about repeatedly in the public, but one of those demands is keep ICE out of sensitive locations. And we've defined that as schools, houses of worship, hospitals.
Houses of worship? You guys should be looking at each other with that.
And polling sites. We want an explicit prohibition that ICE can go nowhere near any polling sites in the United States of America. It's one of our people. It's the
I mean, everybody's pointing the finger at each other, so I don't know. But I bet you if it was these people not getting paid and their paychecks were affected and they weren't earning nothing, you'd see how fast they'd work to some type of resolution. Things would change.
Just chaos from there.
This guy's describing the plane.
We went down for a regular landing. We came in pretty hard. We immediately hit something, and it was just chaos from there. About 5 seconds later, we had come to a stop. But in that short period, I mean, everybody was hunkered down and everybody was screaming. Pretty quickly, we didn't have any directions because the pilot's cabin had been kind of destroyed. So somebody said, let's get the emergency exit and get the door in. Let's all jump out, and that's exactly what we did. We went down for a regular.
They had a picture of the Another video of Justin Timberlake. Justin was late that night.
So in the morning, usually around 9:30. Wow.
All right. No worries. TSA will be investigating. No worries. Daylight shows the extent of the damage. Oh wow, what a picture. Let me show you guys this. This is crazy. What a wow. Actually, I think we can mute that. I already have enough beeps in my head and shit. Repetitive sound. I'm good. Wait to hear that. Wow. Crazy looking picture. You can see the truck on the side. Hmm. Wow. So I think that might be it for now. I might be doing a little members live. I think might do a members live. Oh, I have to gather some information. I think I might do the members live different though, because I saw the way Ashley Banfield's doing it. It might be interesting to so you do like a public live, but you do members only chat, and so it's like a members live, but so everybody gets to watch, even if you're not a member, but only members can chat. And maybe it encourages people to become members, or not. At least people that aren't members can still see. So I might try that today. We'll see, because there's a few things I wanted to touch on. I forgot to update. It was two things, yeah. I might do that. Collided with the truck, emergency response truck, fire truck. Thanks, Southern Gal. The only people that are dead that I know of is the pilots. The pilot and the co-pilot are deceased. So could have been way worse. Could have been way worse. You know. Still, two people are dead. So we hit the fire truck in a plane. The fire truck was crossing, responding to another emergency, and the plane landed and crashed into the fire truck. But ATC gave clearance for the truck to cross. And then you hear the ATC say, "Stop, stop, 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 stop." I posted a clip on X. I might post it on YouTube clips page too, maybe for some people that didn't get to watch the live.
emergency vehicle after landing here at LaGuardia around 11:40 p.m. The incident happening on runway 4. Authorities say the plane struck a Port Authority aircraft, a rescue and firefighting truck that was responding to a separate incident at the time. Air Canada says flight 8646 was coming from Montreal. 72 passengers and 4 crew members were on board. You're about to hear the audio from air traffic control, the moment leading to this deadly crash.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower.
Truck 1 and Company.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195, stop there, please. Stop.
And Air Canada has set up a phone line for family and friends. You see that number there on your screen. Now let's talk about that emergency vehicle that was responding. We know it was responding to another aircraft, to a United flight. The pilot there calling in an odor, saying that there was an odor on his flight, and that is why that fire truck was responding. We know 2 officers were inside that emergency vehicle, a sergeant and a Port Authority police officer, both taken to the hospital in stable condition. You're about to hear from Catherine Garcia. She's the executive director of the Port Authority.
It is anticipated that the airport will be closed at least until 2 p.m. this afternoon to facilitate the...
Okay. So yeah, that's kind of the latest update and all the information. All right. So yeah, I'm going to jump off for a little bit. I have a few things to do and reconcile. And in a little while, I'm thinking I'll set up a members live. It'll be public, but members chat. And I think I wanted to update 2 things, kind of, I think, with the JLR thing, and then just have an open conversation. Because I forgot his attorney did have some like requests and response. So we might top it off with that. And then, and then we'll see what happens today. So be safe, be cautious, be safe. There was a global alert put out, man charged in murder. Okay. Global alert put out. Be safe, man. Be aware of your surroundings.
All I'm saying is we are in the throes of a real possibility of making a deal. And I think if I were a betting man, I'd bet for it. But again,
they're saying Cuba too lost all this power. They had these YouTubers, these communist YouTubers or influencers go out to Cuba and they're out partying and all kinds of stuff, staying at these hotels, and then some facility lost power and like a lot of people died. I think it was like people that were on I don't know if they're on life support or something. I'm gonna have to look more into that story. So, but all right, you guys take care, be safe, love you, thank you so much for watching. Bye. Bloop 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 bloop.